Welcome to the Cemetery Gates podcast, featuring Xander Kane and Android Virus. Guys, welcome back to the Cemetery Gates podcast. I am Android Virus, joined by my illustrious, beautiful hunk of a man co-host, Mr. Xander Kane.
Well, I don't know about a beautiful hunk of a man, but I guess I am a man. So you got, 2 out of 3 or 1 out of 3 ain't bad, I guess.
There you go. And, we got Mona on with us tonight. How you doing, Mona?
Hello. I'm all right. Hanging in.
Cool. Good deal. And we decided it was in your best interest that we do a Thanksgiving episode.
Right. We know a lot of y'all ain't going to be seeing your family this year. You're going to be bored. We figured we'd give you a show to listen to and maybe some movies to watch if you haven't seen them. So.
Right. Yeah. So for your listening pleasure, as Mr. Gray the Dark Hours used to say, we are coming into your ear holes for your pleasure.
That's correct.
Yes. So, all right, guys. So yeah, it's a Thanksgiving episode. So we're going to be doing some themed horror, Thanksgiving, pilgrimy, Native American-ish, some other stuff. But first of all, I want to know, Mr. Xander, what have you been watching, sir? What have you been watching?
I've been renting a lot of just random smaller independent movies on Amazon, trying to help support the industry as best I can. So I've just been renting kind of lesser known stuff on there, but I did watch a flick called Hosts that was pretty fucking cool. That takes place on Christmas Eve, and these people are just come over for dinner to host a party, or they're hosting a party to some neighbors that are coming, and they basically get turned into aliens, and then they start slaughtering the whole family. So it was kind of a cool little fun little sci-fi flick. Somebody recommended it to me, but it was all right. And then I watched another flick called Archons, which is another alien movie. I don't know. Sometimes I accidentally stumble across 2 of the same style movie. And it's about a bunch of kids that go out into the woods, and then of course aliens come out. So another sci-fi one. That one was okay. Apparently, there was another film before this one called Black Mountain Side. That's kind of the same directors and producers, and it's almost kind of the same story. So this isn't technically a sequel to that, but it's all in the same wheelhouse. But it was all right, and that's really kind of been it the last few days. I did watch The Last Thanksgiving, which is an independent flick from Scream Team Releasing that was fucking awesome. So I highly recommend going to Scream Team Releasing's website and buying that thing, because it is a great Thanksgiving horror flick. And I wanted to do it this episode, but it's not streaming anywhere. You have to buy it from Scream Team. So definitely peep The Last Thanksgiving. It's awesome.
Nice.
And it has Linnea Quigley in it for a short period of time. I mean, she's in the movie the whole time, but she just doesn't have a huge part. She's more kind of a second pick character. She's in there, but
nice.
It's really cool.
Cool. And what about you, Miss Mona? What have you been watching?
I've been watching another miniseries based on a novel by Stephen King. I watched The Outsider in a couple days.
Nice.
Lots of people loved that book. I'm curious how that translated on screen. But a lot of people seem to like the show.
But the show was really good.
Nice.
Was that on Prime or something, or is that
it's on
HBO show?
Max.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was on one of those. Cool.
And you finished it up in a couple days, huh?
I sure did.
So it's about the Cocoa Man.
Yeah, well, kind of. I don't want to spoil it, but it's like about a detective investigating a murder of a local 11-year-old boy. It starts off as like a crime drama, but then things start to get all supernaturally. And yeah, it's pretty
All
good.
Stephen Kingy.
Yeah,
It does have that Stephen King vibe to it, actually.
yeah, it does.
But I quite enjoyed it myself. We flew through that in about a few days as well. Um, Pretty intense characters in it too, huh?
Yeah, and there's only one season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said, did it get renewed for a second season, or is it just open and closed book?
I think it's just going to be this season.
Yeah. I feel like that Stephen King movies or novels, they should be like one season things. Like I feel like they kind of got onto something like kind of like True Detective. If you ever watch True Detective, great open-ended season. I feel like that we could do that with novels now. We don't need to squeeze it into a movie where it lacks a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm actually a big fan of the hey, this is the show. It's going to go for 3 seasons and that's it. Like, I like having that. This is the end instead of like trying to stretch it for 5 seasons, stretch it for 6 seasons, and keep going. That's like one of the things the Americans did really well. Like, they had 5 seasons and they was like, nope, this is where the story ends. That's it. And
Yeah.
and that's one of the best finishes of a show, in my opinion, of all time. So I really I would be much happier with like, we're doing 1 season, 2 season, 3 season. Just give me the end game from the beginning.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like more drama type stuff. Like, I think it's better.
Breaking Bad did that. Man, there's quite a few that did that. Yeah. Speaking of what we've been watching, I'm on a horror. I'm on Hannibal. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Didn't was that when Netflix picked up and made another season of that, or they just?
I think they canceled. I think NBC canceled it after 1 or 2 seasons, and then Netflix picked it up for the third. But I know if Netflix did pick it up for the final season, but then I don't think they're going to do any more. I'm not sure. Because I know it all plays into that, Silence of the Lambs universe.
Right. The Red Dragon trilogy, or whatever the hell they call it.
Yeah.
The Red Dragon trilogy. Is that what the books are called?
Yeah, because you have like the Jack Crawford and the other characters in it that are in like Manhunter. I prefer Manhunter over Red Dragon. I don't know if you guys have seen both of them.
Mm-mm.
I've only seen Manhunter and Silence of the Lambs, and that's it.
Yeah, so they're good. Even the Hannibal prequel's pretty good. And then the or Hannibal Rising or whatever it was, and then Hannibal after Silence of the Lambs, where they get Jodie Foster gets recasted, her character, but Red Dragon with Edward Norton is okay, but I really prefer Manhunter just because it's got that 80s vibe, and the guy who did it is Michael Mann, who did Miami Vice. So it's just got his fingerprints all over it, that Michael Mann vibe. It has a very Miami Vice vibe to it, like with the serial killer. Just the way he does things. So I really fucking love. So after we watch this, we're gonna have to go turn around and watch a Manhunter. So yeah, but it's a good show, man. I'm surprised how much they got away for network TV. The violence,
Yeah,
really,
that is huge for what, NBC or ABC or whatever the hell it was.
yeah, they
Because
pushed
you
it.
expect it on like AMC and like FX can get away with a lot more.
Yeah. So for network TV, they definitely pushed it. It's super violent, man. No, like. Well, I think this kind of just goes to show like our American culture, but like no on the sex at all.
Right.
But we could show filleted bodies.
Yeah, we're gonna decapitate the shit out of people, but not.
Okay.
Don't you dare show a fucking nipple.
Yeah, exactly. my buddy from Germany came and visited. He's in a band, and he's like, I'll never get you guys. You guys have just the most violent TV, but you can't show any fucking tits. And I'm like, nope, nope. Nothing. And then there was we were doing an Android vision the other night. And we were showing an old satanic PSA on there, old school satanic PSA, which is hilarious, by the way. I'll have to send it to
Like
you.
of the like 80s satanic panic era.
Yeah,
Type,
totally.
yeah. I've
Mona,
seen
did
some
you
of
watch
those.
it? Did you watch it, Mona?
Yes, that was like my third time watching it.
That's a funny one.
Yeah.
It's really funny. But a buddy of mine who is in Ireland jumped in on the movie night with us, and he goes, I'll never get you Yanks and your obsession with God and Satan." I was like, what? Yeah, that was pretty funny. So, all right, guys, on to the show. We're gonna review 2 movies, and we're gonna review our first time like a faux trailer, but I guess it's fake. I mean, it's a fake trailer for a fake movie that never got made, but it could also be construed, I think, as a short film. So I wanted to watch this, especially for our Thanksgiving edition, and we're going to go ahead and listen to the trailer. This is from 2007's Eli Roth's faux trailer, Thanksgiving, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, white meat.
This holiday season, prepare to have the stuffing scared out of you. Thanksgiving. In the town of Plymouth, Massachusetts, the 4th Thursday in November is the most celebrated day of the year. The table is set. The festivities have begun. But an uninvited guest had arrived, and this year there will be no leftovers. Thanksgiving. White meat, dark meat, all will be carved. Thanksgiving.
Come on, Judy, how about it?
Happy Thanksgiving, baby.
Thanksgiving.
Cool it, Judy. Safe. Mommy's here. It's blood. Son of a bitch.
Arrive hungry.
Happy Thanksgiving, Grandma.
Leave stuffed. From director Eli Roth. Thanksgiving. You'll come home for the holidays in a body bag.
All right, guys, white meat, dark meat, all will be carved.
And trampolines.
And trampolines. So, yeah, let's go around the table, guys. I mean, I went and watched the Grindhouse films when they came out in 2007, springtime of 2007. And this was just an awesome highlight of those films. So if anybody out there doesn't know what the Grindhouse films are, it was just a double feature that was put out, kind of a throwback to the, old
Exploitation
school,
grind drive-through.
yeah,
Drive-in shit.
drive-in movie theater, different things like that. But then they had like Edgar Wright, Eli Roth, and Rob Zombie do some fake trailers. I know Robert Rodriguez did his own fake trailer, which ended up becoming a real movie, which was Machete, and with a sequel as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thanksgiving was the highlight of all these, man. It was so much fun. So Mona, when was the first time you saw it, or and your thoughts of it?
In 2007, it was great. Me and my brother watch it. It's a tradition We watch it every year and we send it to all our friends.
In case you guys forgot, here it is.
Now everyone's like, oh no, there it is, Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It's so laughable. This is the one that everybody wanted to be made into a real movie that never got made into a real movie.
Yeah, and he gets asked about it like constantly. He says like he's like, I swear to God, like weekly he still gets asked about the fucking thing. And I think he would make it, but I think he's just I think he's moved on. Like, you know, it was a fun thing he did, and I don't know if he really has any interest in making it, but
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
I would too. It's so basically, you know, as the trailer says, through the whole thing, Plymouth, Massachusetts, there's a killer during Thanksgiving. He cuts the head off of a turkey, of a dude.
Decapitation.
Yeah, there's a couple. There's a few in there, isn't there? A couple.
Yeah,
There's three.
when Eli Roth is getting pleasured by the lady in the car, his head falls off. So there's the one. And then
The turkey.
and then what's the third one?
I don't know what the third one. I know that I thought that. Oh no, it was the guy who was tied up to look like a giant turkey on the table. He's not decapitated. He's just has all of his arms and legs gone, so he's just dismembered at the end. So that was really cool. What about you, Xander? What did you see this, man? Was this back in 07? Or did you wait a while?
I actually didn't see the Grindhouse movies in the theater for whatever reason. But then obviously when it came out and about, everybody was, of course, talking about it. And then like it still surprised me. Like a lot of people didn't pick up on that the trailers were fake for a while. Like they were convinced they were real and wanted to seek them all out. And then especially when like Machete eventually got made, like, oh, Thanksgiving's coming, and it just never did. But it's just that, you know, that silly, he really just nails the whole like kind of late 70s vibe, really, not really 80s. It's more that 70s, like I don't know, some of those older 70s flicks that I'm of course drawing a blank on. But it's just so fucking silly and out there and gory and just, you know, not stuff you typically see in movies anymore, really.
Yeah,
So
well,
everybody just kind of gravitated towards it. It's still great. It holds up. It's wonderful.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like you said, he kind of captures that vibe. And then we have a lot of people in this. We have
Kyle Reese.
Michael Biehn, Kyle Reese, Jay Hernandez is Bobby. We got Jordan Ladd, who is one of the girls who dies in the car in Death Proof. So he got her to be in it.
She's also in Cabin Fever as well, isn't she?
She is, yeah. She's a favorite. So, funny thing about this movie, kind of fun, interesting facts. Most of this cast, you're gonna notice that their names are Eastern European because Eli Roth actually filmed this in conjunction a little bit after or right around the time he was doing Hostel 2. So it actually wasn't even filmed in America. It was filmed wherever he was filming Hostel 2. So a lot of these actors, he did some of them stateside, not all of them. Obviously, he had to get Michael Biehn, Jordan Ladd, and Jay Hernandez stateside. But a lot of the stuff he filmed overseas, like the grandma in the movies in Hostel 2, the cheerleaders in Hostel 2. The guy who gets killed looking at the cheerleaders in Hostel 2, and they're all extras from whatever Eastern European country he filmed it in. Which is really cool.
The first Hostel was filmed in Estonia, wasn't it? Or Romania?
Yeah, I think so.
So
this might have been filmed, wherever he filmed Hostel 2 at, which is really cool. And then another fun little fact that I like about this is he actually, when we see her holding Jay Hernandez's head after he kisses it, that's the same mold that they find on the table in the beginning of Hostel 2 of Jay Hernandez's head. So, he did it right, man. He did it justice. I thought it was really cool. Like, just like, fuck it. We're going to use all these props from the movie.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
Pennies here.
There you go, man. But again, and another shining part of this movie is Michael Biehn. He's like, son of a bitch. That's his only line. So good, man. I mean, it's better than most movies we watch.
Yeah, that's sure.
So it could definitely be construed as a short film. I don't know, / faux trailer. but a whole lot of fun. I do want to say one thing: we don't get political on this show, but I just do have to bring this up just for the Thanksgiving sake. Everybody, somebody put online, QAnon, right? Everybody knows the stupid fucking QAnon is, but they said these poor children are being indoctrinated to eat human beings. Look at this human being on the table, and it was a screen grab from Thanksgiving. So I'm just like, yeah, there you go. That's the caliber of people we're dealing with QAnon. So, anyways,
that's funny.
I'll take a step back from the politics, but anyways, I just thought I had to throw that out there, which I thought was really fucking funny. It's like, even to this day, it's still fucking with people. You know?
Right. Well, like, I don't know. Did you ever watch Megan is Missing? Either one of you guys ever watched Megan is Missing?
No.
Okay, so it was out like 10 years ago, and it's basically like a dark movie about internet and, bad shit happening to people on the internet. But it's been trending on like social media lately because I guess some TikTok kids thought that it was real. And so like they're all like freaking out about like Megan is Missing. But like, when Megan is Missing came out, it was kind of the same thing. Like people thought it was kind of real when it came out, and they were like, oh no, it's just a movie. And then 10 years later, it's popped back up now recently in the news of people thinking it's real, which is funny. So when stuff has like, is made really well, it's funny to see it like dupe people again, right? Like people thinking that, whatever they see is real. It's fucking hilarious to me.
Dude, when Blair Witch came out, I thought it was real.
Yeah.
When it very first came out, it totally fucking, I'll admit it, they got me, and I just wasn't really big into going online back then, like in like 99 or whenever it came out. I mean, I would go online every now and then. I just wasn't huge and didn't have a huge internet presence or even really go on the internet a whole lot. And when I did, it was just like for, when I was going to college, doing some schoolwork, different stuff like that.
Or looking at porn.
Yeah, but it was like you have to download it like fucking 2 pixels a fucking minute. And it's like, this isn't even worth it. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ. It's like, I want to watch a porn clip, and it's like I can only watch a 60-minute porn clip, and it takes 15 minutes to download. It's like,
and not even in full speed.
Yeah, it's not even worth it. Now we're spoiled. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, back in the day, I remember the Blair Witch, the viral marketing campaign for that was really cool, and everybody thought it was real. I thought it was real for sure. And when I went and saw the movie, I thought it was even pretty real. And I was like, whoa, fuck, am I really watching this shit go down?
When I went and saw that in the theater, a girl that we went to high school with was like convinced that it was like real and the devil, and like no shit, like 6 of us went to see it, and she was trying to like petition us all to go see another movie. Once she found out we were going to go see, she was like, no guys. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Really?
Yeah, really, it was crazy. I was like, what the fuck? Did the SCA send you down here? I don't know.
I did go see it by myself, I will say that. So it was I got spooked out because I saw it by myself. I mean, I remember I used to where I used to work at a pretty big it was a gym complex that I used to work at back when it opened. I had to go open it in the morning at 5 a.m. So I was walking around this huge complex turning all the lights on at 5 a.m. in the dark. And it was like, and I had seen that movie like at the 9 o'clock showing at night. And I'm like, first of all, I didn't get a whole lot of sleep, because I was like, man, this shit fucking scared the shit out of me. And then I go back into work. I'm like, fuck, having to open shit up. So, all right, man, on to our movies that we picked. Xander and I both decided to do some more, I guess, recent horror type of stuff. You picked Pilgrim, or no, I picked Pilgrim, and you picked Mohawks. So, what do we want to do first? We'll leave it up to Mona. Which one do you want to review first, Mona?
Mohawk, since I don't really have much about that.
Aw, she doesn't have much about Mohawk.
They're going to kill us all if we don't fight.
We are in a valley, surrounded by a ridge. To the north, there's a river. To the east, there's a war. You will not live to see tomorrow. Not because of what you did, because of who you are.
We need to move. Oksa!
I want the demons to leave and I will fight.
They're over there!
We are advancing with speed after the enemy.
Now we have to get back and tell the people we're at war.
So if I were to allow one more of your kind to kill one more white man,
You could not face my lord on Judgment Day.
aren't you worried about her? Being out here in the woods all alone?
No, but you should be.
We should have never come here.
This is our home.
Then your home will burn.
There's something in these woods!
This is Mohawk land. We're in their house.
All right, cool. That was Mr.
That's
Mr.
all me. That's my
That's-
pick.
That's all you, bro.
Yeah, man.
Take it away.
I got you. So Mohawk came out in 2017. It's directed by, I can never say his last name right, Ted Geoghegan. Is that his name is?
Yes.
Yeah. But he's done some other films, notable films. He did We Are Still Here, which is an awesome flick if you haven't seen that, from 2015. And he also helped produce Sweatshop, which was kind of a little slasher flick that some people liked and some people hated. So, but Mohawk takes place in, is it the War of 1812, I guess? Something like that.
Yes.
And it follows the Mohawk tribe, and they have befriended a British soldier who is kind of in love with one of the female characters from the tribe, and he's doing like a weird. The British guy is like, hey, trying to convince the Mohawk that they need to fight, and that the elder is like kind of completely against it. She's like, no, we're gonna be neutral. We're not gonna bother with any of this. And she thinks that the British guy is there to like do the king's bidding and get them killed as well. But like his intentions are actually legit. Like he's genuinely trying to like convince them that, hey, shit's getting real. We're all going to die if we don't start defending ourselves. And so it's just kind of this like rift between the elder and these other two people in the tribe that are ready to fight back in a sense, and kill the white man because the white man's coming to kill them. And of course, inevitably, shit hits the fan, and the young man, what is his name? Kelvin? Is that what they call him?
Yeah.
He catches some American soldiers unawares, and he kills them, and he comes back, and that's what triggers the whole, the whole next two parts of the movie, because the Americans eventually come for him, and the whole thing, they're just, the Americans are just there to slaughter them, and there's like a whole hierarchy of power where a captain gets killed, or the colonel gets killed, and the other guy's like trying to take over the ranks, and they're just offing each other one by one. And the further you go in the movie, a little more gruesome it gets. You get some gunshots to the head. You get some fingers shot off. What else? There's some pretty good fight scenes in there.
Arrows to the neck.
Yeah, and it's the typical, the soldiers have like, more guns, more ammo. I mean, the Mohawks do have some guns, but they don't have as many, and they're outnumbered. There's only 3 of them, and then there's 5 to start off. There's 5 American soldiers coming after them.
Yeah,
and one of them's like a tracker guy. Like he doesn't wear like the normal army outfit. He's just like kind of tracking the Indians in the woods.
Is he the one with the glasses?
Yeah, and he's got like a deformed eye, and he's got these weird goggles on, and he's got one flipped up. It's kind of a cool looking character.
Yeah, they do have. I do want to say that in this movie, I feel like, right away, like you said, it kind of, we know who the bad guys are, right? There's no pretending who the bad. Yeah,
yeah,
the white man, the Americans, and they're not even the English, but obviously because the girl and the English guy are in love, and her brother, and they're best friends, but they're kind of after her brother because they said her brother, like, which he did. He took out a whole bunch of Americans on his own.
Was that her brother? I thought they were both her lovers.
It was her brother, and then you get an awkward brother-sister kiss later in the movie.
Yeah, but then when you find out she's pregnant, and it's the British guys, and he asks if it's his or Kelvin's.
Yeah, but they said it was her brother, which was weird. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, maybe it was
had a baby with her brother.
Maybe. Or they were brother and sister in spirit. Maybe.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, because I thought they said brother at the beginning too, and it threw me for a loop, and I was like, oh, okay, is this what's happening? Small tribe, I guess, huh?
I do want to say, I do want to give a shout out to, because I'm a huge pro wrestling fan, and Brody Lee's in it. He's Jonathan Huber, and he's the big guy with the
giant. I recognized him.
Yeah, and he's one of my favorite wrestlers. He's amazing. And if you just watch him, his wrestling character, I mean, the guy can act. I mean, he's a badass, and I was like, hey, it's Brody Lee. Like, I was so excited to see him in the movie. I was like, I didn't even know he did movies, but it was really cool to see him in there. Yeah, he's a big giant of a man.
Yeah.
All right.
There's lots. They play on these relationships within the American troop. They
don't even trust each other.
No, they don't even like each other. It doesn't seem like any of them like each other, except for the big guy is like the only one that's like okay in the end, going off with the newly self-appointed colonel.
Yeah, that fucking asshole.
Yeah. So they're just going through the woods, and then eventually it gets down to one-on-one basically, but there's a certain point in the movie where it kind of takes this ancestral supernatural like turn, kind of very subtly, because there's like they eventually go to a mission where their family's supposed to be, but no one's there, and of course they all got slaughtered, spoiler alert. But then they have these scenes where the Americans slaughtered them. I believe, they did. And then there's like these scenes where they're doing these like, I don't know, like tribal dances with animal bones and blood and all this other weird stuff going on. And it's just kind of lightly sprinkled in there. It's not like too over the top, but it's like just enough to like, okay, this is going somewhere. And it does eventually go somewhere toward the end, but it's not so it's like described as like savage and brutal, and it is, but it's not like as brutal and bloody and savage as I expected it to be. Like just the way that everybody talked about it, the way it was built up, because this film did really well in tons of festivals all over. Like people just loved it, but it's I enjoyed it, but I felt like I wanted it to be more violent, because like you have all this like, there's like all this, I don't know, it's just like the intensity, like, this woman is like losing everything, and you just want it to be incredibly like brutal and more rewarding. And to me, I didn't feel like it paid off as much as I had hoped it was going to, but that doesn't mean that I didn't like it. I still enjoyed it, but
yeah, same.
Like I
felt.
Yeah.
There was a lot of buildup. And I mean, there was definitely some violent parts, and I feel like I do like how she kind of did the whole at the end when she punches the dude with her broken bones hand.
Yeah, that was pretty badass.
Yeah. That was like, to me, that was kind of like a Didn't she do the same thing on a hobo with the shotgun, Mona?
Oh, where did yeah, like
Yeah,
tore
like
her hand or
yeah,
tore it
like
apart and then the bone sticking out.
yeah. She's like, just jabbed him with it. That was really cool. Um, yeah, I mean, it really is a cat and mouse type of movie. And it's just basically just like you said, like these Americans just tracking these three natives, and then there is a pretty brutal torture scene in it for
Yeah.
sure. Which was kind of sad. I didn't like that, but it was what it was. And then you get like, surprisingly, there was a pretty interesting cast in it for as low budget as I felt like this movie was.
I thought it was well cast.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great. It was definitely cast great. For as low budget as it was. I do think that there's some I don't know. There's some I don't know, some errors, some weird errors in it, like kind of at the end, they're wandering in this desolate, almost dead forest, and then in the next scene, the forest is lush and green, and it's almost nighttime. But he's still like, so there's some weird continuity errors for me that I don't feel that were on purpose. I feel that just it was kind of maybe, who knows why that happened, but that kind of took me out of it.
Yeah, I thought that maybe some of that might have had to do with like, because the one dude was like kind of hallucinating. But I think that's because the corporal gave him that red vial of stuff.
Yeah.
So, because he was losing it. He didn't know what the fuck was going on there for, like, leading up to his demise. Like, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on for the last few minutes of the movie. He's just kind of rumbling through the woods, just getting by.
Yeah. I ain't walking, and they ain't taking my fucking leg.
Yeah, so to me, like, I was like, oh, is it the red vial, or is it, like, did the Mohawk do something? What is she up to? What is she doing? Is she, like, making him trip out? I don't know.
Yeah. There's some nameable actors in this movie. The British soldier Joshua Eamon Farron. He's like one of the main bad guys in what's that movie that showed that's out on Netflix, The Witcher. So he's in The Witcher. And then like the son where the dad forced him to torture the dude.
Yeah.
That he was Arseface in the Preacher TV show.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just some notable actors that, like, I think that they probably just kind of got behind the director or like really liked the script. I thought it was fun, man. A lot of there's a political element to it, definitely.
Yeah.
That the white man ain't all that. didn't get this land, and there's a lot of fucked up shit going on,
There's one great line that the corporal gives, and when the one guy's talking about there's a devil in these woods, and he's like, the devil shares my name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I like that line. Great delivery.
Yeah, that guy is such an asshole actor too. He was one of the guys in the Hills Have Eyes remake, by the way.
I haven't seen that in so long. I never would put that together.
Yeah, he's got his big old funky ears, and he's just, he was in the Hills Have Eyes remake. He plays one of the inbreds naturally, right? So, but yeah, man. And then, like kind of like you said, she kind of gathers these. She keeps on having visions, either when she's, passed out from pain, or when she's sleeping, of like this, looks like this monster warrior type of thing, like, stepping in blood and
shaving her head.
And it so happens to be like, kind of at the end of the movie, she's pretty much, she's been shot, she's been stabbed, she's exhausted, she rolls down the hill and finds all these bones, and it like comes to her, oh, this is the dream that I've been having. I'm going to become this warrior. And she just dons herself with all these bones and whatever the case may be, which is cool. And she looks like, she almost kind of reminded me like this Native American superhero, type of thing.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. And then again, and I think I talked to Mona a little bit about it as well. It's like, what were you saying, Mona, about It took like a weird supernatural turn at the end.
Yeah, that's
It's
weird. I didn't know if she was alive or dead or.
Yeah, because she was like tossing the dude like 10 feet and getting shot and stuff. So it was like,
yeah, she totally threw him like 10 feet. Like, what the hell?
And then when she jumped, she was kind of like flying.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's like they kind of went supernatural, but they didn't go like full. Like it wasn't super obvious, but I don't know if that was like the intention. Because when we started getting all those little samplings of that stuff, I was like, oh, this shit's about the dial's about to go to 11 the rest of this movie, and it just never. It didn't. It's like, oh.
Yeah, it I'm reading kind of a little bit of the description of the end. It does say that her name's Oak, but severely injured, walks away from his corpse as she leaves, is witnessed by a Mohawk family who look upon her as a deity. So
okay.
So I guess that's kind of like she becomes kind of like this deity or whatever, I don't know. And again, like I find kind of like when we watched some Native American horror movies, there are always supernatural elements involved with it,
Yeah, for sure.
Which is pretty cool. So I guess we could
rate it.
Yeah, let's rate it, man.
All right. So as much as we talked about it, you would think I actually like didn't care for the movie much, but I did really enjoy it. I think it's kind of horror light, right?
It's actiony horror drama.
Yeah, it's horror light. So like it's horror. Like if I was rating it strictly as a horror movie, I would rate it lower. But I still think it's solid. I think it's 3.5 out of 5 for me. But that's not necessarily reviewing it as a horror movie. That's just kind of a movie overall. Because if I was rating it as a horror movie, I wouldn't give it much of anything because it's not. You know what I mean? There's not much there in the horror. It's just gory.
Yeah.
But so is Apocalypto. So
yeah,
but that's not a horror movie to me either. So
yeah, well, and so is Passion of the Christ, but that's not a horror movie, or is it?
Yeah, I still think it's solid, and I would sit down and watch it again. So
yeah, it's fun. I would show it again. What about you, Mona? What did you give it?
Well, I enjoyed it. But yeah, I thought it could be a little more gory. Maybe if it had a bigger budget, better writers. And I didn't like their clothes or their costumes. Everything looked like it was made out of felt.
Yeah, I did not like her outfit. I was like, what is this skirt and this weird
their war paint was
leather
cool,
top?
But not their clothes.
Yeah, Calvin's was awesome. His was great. Where it was just like from his jaw down.
Oh, his makeup.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
I'd give it a 3.
Nice. For me, yeah, I'd probably give it about a 3.5 out of 5. I think the big takeaway for me was the budget. I feel like it was definitely a low budget movie, but it was well acted. It could have been a little bit more gory. And the end it did fall apart a little bit at the end for me. I, like you said, I wish that there was a little bit more of a payoff. I thought it was about 3.5 out of 5. So, there you have it.
Yeah. And I would highly recommend We Are Still Here. One of his other movies. If you haven't seen it, it's great.
Cool. All right, guys, up next, we're going to go ahead and listen to the trailer for my pick, which is 2018's Pilgrim. And we'll be right back.
Will we?
Yes.
So we're going to be having some folks join us for Thanksgiving?
We're going to send somebody out here. They're going to teach us how they did things in the olden days.
It'll be just like the first Thanksgiving.
What do you say we break the wishbone? Whoever gets the larger half, your wish comes true.
1, 2, 3. I can hardly wait. Me too.
How do you do?
You're having pilgrims here? What are they going to do?
It's a full reenactment of the first Thanksgiving.
We are here to show you what you had.
What are you doing in here? This doesn't feel right.
You have a wonderful family. Gratitude is on the menu.
It's time to prepare the feast!
You have no idea what's going on in your own home. You are totally unaware.
Are you grateful? Happy Thanksgiving!
Families are still important in America.
What are you afraid of? It's just Thanksgiving.
All right, guys. So you listened to the trailer for my pick, which was 2018's Pilgrim, which was a Blumhouse slash Hulu feature.
Hulu After Dark.
After dark, yeah, Into the Dark.
Oh,
was
whatever.
Was it? I don't know, one of those.
Yeah, it's Into the Dark.
Is it? Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So this is my pick, and we were kind of batting around, me and Xander, about like, well, what we need to find some like Native American or some different horror. And I was researching, and I'm like, hey, let's do this. I told him I found this movie called Pilgrim, and it's just an exclusive. So, yeah, man. So this is a Thanksgiving themed horror film. And it is directed by, and I forgot his name. I have it right here. Sorry. Mr. Marcus Dunstan. And it's written by Marcus Dunstan and Noah Feinberg and a couple of other guys. And so basically what we got like kind of it's in modern time, it's 2019. It starts off with a couple fighting kind of like in a hazy room, and you see a little kid's feet kind of swinging below the chair, and the mom's like, I'm out. The dad's like, really? Yep, I'm out. I can't do this no more. So there's that. And basically, kind of fast forward into the future, and you have what we find out is the dad, his daughter, and then the stepmom, and then their son, and she's at home for Thanksgiving break, and the daughter is kind of a little shit. She's written as she's just not very thankful for what she has. And neither are any of the family. The only one who's somewhat thankful or trying to make things work out is the stepmom and the little kid.
Yeah.
The dad
boy.
Yeah, the dad could give a fuck. Like, he's either on his tablet all the time, checking his
Right.
stock.
Who's Kerr Smith, by the way? Who's been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah, he's been in a whole lot of things. But and then you got the he's always holding a drink. Like throughout the movie. But yeah, Kerr Smith's been in everything from Final Destination, My Bloody Valentine, Dawson's Creek. He's been in a whole lot of stuff. So, and then so you have the girl, her name is Cody. She's the stepdaughter, and the mom, and the mom is just kind of like this keeping up with the Joneses lady.
Yeah, very, very suburban Karen.
Yes,
but
yes. Not to offend anybody.
Not to offend anybody, but
But I think you texted me something about.
Yeah, I was like, this is the whole what he's about to say. What she does, her whole idea in this movie is only shit that white women in the burbs do, like would consider doing.
And I think I texted Mona, and I was all fucking white bitches or something.
So white women fucking shit up again.
Did I say that, Mona? Did I say fucking white bitches or some white bitch shit or something? I don't know what to say. But anyway.
Yeah, something about white bitches.
Yeah, so the mom like decides to have this like dinner party or like a homeowners association party at her house with all these just pretentious, suburban upper middle class ladies. And she's like, we're going to have some reenactors stay at our house, some Pilgrim reenactors. And they're like, what the fuck? And they're like, yeah, they're going to come stay at our house. And I hired them, and they're going to show what it's like to have a real traditional Thanksgiving.
Authentic
Thanksgiving. So we have this couple show up while she's having the party. The daughter is kind of, she's having, her little boyfriend is one of the neighbors. She's not having it. She's just being rude the whole time, like just a real shitty attitude about it. Even the ladies are talking shit behind her back. And so this couple shows up. The lady decides to go stay. From the couple who shows up, they're dressed like pilgrims. They even talk authentically. They're not breaking character. They're just completely going there. And they decide to teach these people their ways. See, this is where it throws me off. Okay, they didn't have a website. They didn't have a phone number. She got a hold of them somehow, some way. But this is where it got like very Twilight Zone-y for me. And this is, or Outer Limits, or Tales from the Dark Side, whatever you want to call it. So were these people really actors? They never really explained it. Because throughout the movie, the pilgrim is trying to teach the family a hard lesson about what it's like, to be thankful for what you have. He's trying to teach the little boy lessons about eating candy, and then when the boy leaves, he's like, he kind of talks to the sky, and he's like, I see, this isn't one I have to punish as bad as the other ones. He gets it. Yeah.
Have some saltwater taffy.
Yeah, which I love saltwater taffy. I don't know about you guys.
Of course, that's the candy this motherfucker has in his satchel. It's a whole fucking satchel full of saltwater taffy. So you mean to tell me the Pilgrims had satchels of saltwater taffy? Come on.
I don't know. Did they? Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
What would I know about an authentic Thanksgiving? So.
Well, all I know is this guy's putting up shacks and sheds in the background within like fucking 2 hours.
Ain't no way that shit would fly in the HOA. I'm just saying.
And it's just getting weirder. And then the lady that goes and lives with, or goes and stays with her boyfriend and his mom, poisons the mom and kills the boyfriend after she's like churning butter with bloody hands, which was kind of a weird looking scene. And it just kind of like, and then before you know it, more pilgrims start moving in.
Yeah. And then shit gets real.
Yeah. It's like, I'm having a house party, and before I know it, like all these motherfuckers, and then shit starts getting real. They're eventually like, you know what, I think it's time for you guys to leave. And they're like, we're not going nowhere. We need to teach you what it's like to be thankful. And it just all like, their house is like almost like halfway pilgrim house now. And the daughter finds her boyfriend with his throat cut. She's like, we're getting the fuck out of here. And they kind of have like this weird Texas Chainsaw Massacre type of moment at the dinner table. But that's not before they decide to teach her what it's like to be thankful. So her parents get flogged, and they get their heads and their hands put through, those things that they would hold them in, and back in the day. And the mom gets branded, the dad gets flogged. But they eventually she helps them break their way out of it. And, the dad meets his demise.
Yeah. Well, the daughter so they put the daughter in the thing and like keep dipping her in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that's called?
What's it called?
Ducking.
What?
Ducking. It's like a punishment they used to do like years and years ago to like, they used to do it to accused witches, and honestly, just to mouthy women. Like, no shit. That's how they would be punished. Like
adulteresses.
Yeah. Well, just like talking back to the men, like all sorts of crazy shit years and years ago.
Wow.
And that's how they would be disciplined. Like you could find it on the books. Like that's what women will be charged with it, and that's will be their punishment. Will be that. So that's
I need one of those.
It's like the only time in your life when you type. If I was to text you during that scene, I would have said ducking. When I said ducking, I would actually have meant to text you ducking.
Yeah,
so.
I need to build one of those in my backyard. I think it's big enough.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it's 99.9% sure that's what it's called.
Mona, do you think my wife would benefit from that?
No, they're gonna gang up and put you in it. I'm gonna help them.
You're gonna help, yeah. It's gonna help my wife and daughter put me in those things so I can.
Like, hey Mona, be here by 7.
Yeah.
We got a surprise for her.
I won't be late.
Yeah, my poor wife. My poor wife and my daughter-in-law live next door, and that's it. And the rest of us, there's me, my sons, my other son, his 3 sons. Oh yeah, dude, and 2 women. Like, no wonder why they're crazy. But anyways, I take that back. But so yeah, they do some ducking on her, and she's like, "Yes, I understand." And then we have like this Texas Chainsaw Massacre moment at the table where they like having him strapped down, and the guy's like, "I want a traditional Thanksgiving dinner," and he makes him shuck the corn and make berry jam and all this stuff. But and then they flip open the and there's a shit ton of pilgrims in their fucking house, in their kitchen.
Yeah, there's like 12 of them.
12 of
and
them.
none of the neighbors are any fucking wiser. They're like, oh, they're getting kind of loud over there.
Yeah.
It's like screaming and shit going on.
They
Kurt Smith falls out of a fucking window.
Yeah, dude.
The neighbors are like, meh.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. It like it's like the house party from hell. But Kurt Smith's head is actually on a platter in it at the table, and what appears to be his rib cage. And like they're all taking it apart and eating and feasting. So they're cannibals now too. And she I guess when she made the jam, she used these poison berries, and she had hid the green stems. Yeah. And so that's how she dispatches of all of them. But there's a really good puking scene at the end. Don't really give too much away, but they are finally thankful for each other.
Yeah,
that was the only part I liked, was the puking blood scene. But it pissed me off that the churning butter lady wouldn't die. She got stabbed in the head. She got poisoned.
Oh, that was badass though, when she pulled that pick out of her head.
Yeah. I'm okay.
I'm fine.
Yeah. She stabbed her with what it looks like a little spike like letter where you put your letters on, or Post-its. She like stabbed her upside the head. And it's pretty cool. I mean, as far as the puking, I mean, it gets really bloody towards the end, and it gets a little bit more psychotic towards the end. It's a build up,
There's a hilarious line. So when like the head pilgrim dude realizes they've been poisoned, he screams to to one of the ladies. He says, "Evacuate thyself," and they're all like trying to make themselves puke up the berries.
Yeah. Evacuate thyself. They're like, he's all putting his fingers in his fucking mouth and making himself puke.
They all were.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that was a good part, man. I mean, it got really bloody towards the end. But so the stepdaughter and the mom are finally thankful for each other, and they realize, you know what, I am a good person, and I am thankful for what I have. And one of my favorite scenes in the movie is all staring at your windows, your devices with your window into nowhere. And I'm like, yeah, he's got something there, man. He did have something. Yeah.
I made you thankful.
Yeah, I made you thankful. So, yeah, man. For me, it's a hard R, obviously, if you guys want to check this out. But I thought it was fun. You still have to suspend disbelief, because we just don't know what these people are. I mean, they're not LARPers or actors. I don't know I don't know what they are. I just felt like I took it like as this Twilight Zone-y Tales from the Dark Side type of vibe. I suspended all belief when it came to making sense of where these people came from or who they were. So, but for me, man, it was bloody. It had some funny moments. They're super annoying, the Pilgrims, but I think they were meant to be super annoying. So I look at that as a good thing. So I'm gonna give this one a solid 4 out of 5. I quite enjoyed it, man.
Whoa.
Yeah. I thought it was funny. All right, go ahead, Mr. Xander.
All right. Well, I didn't really care for this much at all. I don't think the movie ever really decides one way if it wants to be serious or comical. It gets more comical toward the end, but at the beginning you can't really I don't know. You don't really pick up on that. I feel like the tone and atmosphere on this thing are completely non-existent, and that's what hurts whether it's going to go serious or comical. Because a lot of it's like in the daytime, and a lot of the lines delivered from the Pilgrims just come off cheesy to me, and not really funny until a few toward the end. I didn't like the weird gospel song at the end.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
What?
I thought that was awesome.
Happy church.
Yeah,
I was actually going to play that at the end of the podcast.
Oh no, I hated that. I was like, ugh. And there's like some weird editing in this movie. Like, there's just some weird cuts on a few of the scenes. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, I didn't like this very much at all, with the exception of the puking scene and that toward the end. I didn't care for it at all. This is a 2 out of 5 for me. Like, I think this is the furthest we've been apart on any movie we've ever done. But like, I would not watch this again.
You wouldn't watch it again, huh?
No. I just fast forward to the end scene to show somebody, probably, but
I would not.
So
wow,
yeah,
I like this, and you guys didn't, huh?
No, not much at all.
All right, what about you, Mona?
Wait.
Sorry, Xander. What is your score?
2 out of 5.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. All right. So what? Okay, sorry. Okay, Mona, go ahead.
You guys pretty much summed it up. The only part I liked was the vomiting blood. I could stand the annoying turning butter lady. And she would die. And then in the beginning, it said that this movie was based on a true story. So I was like, what? A true story? What the fuck? So I looked it up. And I guess this whole movie is just supposed to be a metaphor for the first Thanksgiving. The Pilgrims showing up and pretending to be peaceful and devout Christians, but really they were violent and religious fanatics and forcing their beliefs on the Native Americans and stuff like that. So yeah.
So it is based on a true story.
I'm not lying.
So I don't know. I'd give it a 2. Same.
Yeah, we in the same boat.
Yeah, well, there you guys go, man. I mean, I'm not going to defend my decision. I'm not going to backtrack.
Hey, it's all good, man. You like what you like.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. You know, I mean, for me, I just suspended disbelief because I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Oh, yeah. I'm just watching.
Did you have a favorite line?
Yeah, what was my favorite line?
Mine was before the dad died, when they like murdered one pilgrim and he was all excited. He was like, did we just murder as a family?
Yeah. See, there's some fun little moments in that. I feel like it kind of tried to be like the babysitter a little bit, but you know, like the funny little things. But yeah, directed by Marcus Dunstan.
That's the guy that did The Collector, right?
Yeah, The Collector and The Collection, the Feast.
I forgot he did Feast. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
Yeah, Scary Stories to Tell. He wrote Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. But yeah, I don't know, man. I need to watch The Collector and The Collection again. I love those movies.
They're great. I saw both those in the theater.
Have you seen those, Mona?
I've only seen The Collector. I remember liking it, but that was when it first came out. So
did you ever end up checking out that one movie I told you about, directed by Joel Schumacher, with the hot Superman and what's his name in it? Michael Fassbender?
No, because I can't find it anywhere for free. Remember, I'm frugal.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm dying to watch it.
That Blood Creek, Xander.
Oh, that's great. With Dominic Purcell in it?
Yeah, a lot of actors. Yeah, well, like Superman's in it, dude, and fucking.
I forgot he's in it. I was just thinking Dominic Purcell. That's his brother.
Superman.
That's his brother, right?
Yeah, hot Superman.
Yeah.
Hot Superman. She says.
Really hot Superman.
I know you. Yeah, you and my wife, man. You guys love that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But what was he in just recently that I watched? And I was like, what is Brandon Routh doing in this?
It's not Brandon Routh.
That's what you just said.
No, Henry Cavill.
Oh, Cavill. My bad, yeah.
Yeah, no, Henry Cavill's in it. He's the hot Superman for the ladies, I guess.
He is a handsome fellow. I'm not going to deny.
He's The Witcher. He's in Enola Holmes. He played Sherlock Holmes. He's in a lot of stuff, man. He's the go-to guy. But and then Michael Fassbender's in it too. So he's in Blood Creek as well, which is a good movie. It's weird for a Joel Schumacher film to kind of go straight to straight to video or DVD or video on demand.
That was one of the last movies I rented from Blockbuster, I think.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
I remember renting that movie from Hastings. Remember Hastings, Mona?
Yes, of course. Wasn't too long ago. I'm not that old.
You guys don't have Hastings no more?
No. They all shut down over here.
We still got one. Yeah, we got two. One in Chattanooga and one in Nashville, but those were the only two.
Yeah, they all shut down over here. We have nowhere to rent movies from anymore around here at all. Yeah, that's an idea. Maybe I should open up a shop. Do it like they did. Yeah, do it like Mom and Pop did back in the day. I need your driver's license and a $50 deposit on my film.
Well, the thing is, man, you'd have some stuff that, like, if you had anything out of print, you'd have to.
Yeah.
Like,
you're porn behind a curtain.
Yeah.
Nah, it'll be up in the front.
No, earn a bit. When they used to have Video World here, when I was a little kid, they would be just in a big black book, and you couldn't look at that big black book. You could only look it up at the counter, and it just had the pictures from you could rent your porn from there, from what I remember, because one of my friends wanted to steal the big black book just because he wanted the porn covers. It's like, what? Why would you do that? You know,
those weren't a thing in the video store until I was ever old enough to go in them. When Blockbuster started taking over, like, nobody had those anymore. You had to go to like a head shop to get those.
Porno, yeah. We used to have a really cool. Remember Tall Tale Comics, Mona?
No.
No. Well, Tall Tale Comics, the guy who owned it, he like was one of the only comic book stores in Albuquerque that would sell like heavy metal.
Oh, where was it?
It was over like off of not Eubank. I think was it Eubank or Wantabo area. But
I remember now.
But he was one of the only guys in Albuquerque that would sell at comic book stores that would sell heavy metal magazine, and all those weird kind of. And then if you really got to know him really well, he had a room in the back where he had like porno comics and original hentai stuff.
If you got to know him really well.
Well, if you were a good customer, you know what I mean? Like,
I got these lollipops in the back, boy.
But they had like porno and stuff. And I actually, when he closed shop and this guy bought him out, or bought all of his supply. And then the guy that bought all of his supply ended up claiming bankruptcy, and the owners of the property liquidated all of his stuff for super cheap. I got a big old box of Famous Monsters in Filmland for $1.
Nice.
Yeah, really cool stuff, man. So I have all kind. Mona's seen all my random bullshit that I collect. So just tons of.
That's great.
Tons of stuff. I don't put enough of it online. I probably should showcase it more, but I don't. All right, guys. So happy Thanksgiving to you.
But if you want a real authentic experience,
yes,
rent a Pilgrim, also known as probably COVID.
What?
Never mind.
What? Is that just a bad joke you just tried to make, sir?
It was a terrible joke. Didn't work, did it?
So I'm gonna play that on the replay. I'm gonna do a Price is Right. Yeah, the Price is Right wrong theme.
I just realized that there was a host on that show before Bob Barker. I didn't know that till like 3 days ago.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah, there was like the Buzzard channel had like Game Show and the Price is Right was on, but it was a picture of Drew Carey, and then when he clicked on it, it was like an old black and white version of the Price is Right. I was like, holy shit.
Dude, Bob Barker's still alive. I don't know if you guys know that.
I had no idea.
He is.
Because he retired at like 84 or something, didn't he?
Watch,
He
I'm
hasn't
gonna
been on
say
here for 10 years.
Bob Barker.
120?
I'm gonna let you know how old Bob Barker is. Bob Barker was born in 1923. He is 97 years old.
Dang.
97 years young. 96 years young. He's still around. And he still promotes spaying and neutering your pets and animals.
Yes, you should.
He still probably harasses attractive women.
He does.
Oh, no.
He's so hard. He did used to harass the women back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I think he was against having a black chick on his show, too. Back in the day, too.
Probably. It doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. Those old timers, you know. Well, think about it this way, man. He's only, what? He's only 13 years older than Joe Biden, isn't he? No, I don't think Joe Biden's not 80. Joe Biden's not 83.
He's like 73 or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I take that back. He's 20 years older than him. Why are you laughing so hard, Mona? There's no laughing on this show. She thought that was funny. So, what do you have planned for Thanksgiving, Mr. Xander Kane?
I'll be at home by myself.
What about your wife?
She's going to go see her mom and spend the day with her and spend that up there at cabin. I'm just going to stay here with the doggo. So, yeah, low-key. Ordered some meals from one of our favorite restaurants. Did a little Thanksgiving platter thing. So we got a couple of those. So I'll munch on those. I'm going to watch movies all day. Probably finish up Holliston on Shudder.
Good deal.
The Adam Green Show, which I just started watching, and I fucking love it. And Dave Brocky's awesome in it.
Yes, I love. It's such a fun show.
It's just like it's stupid as shit. Like it really is dumb as shit, but it's just in my wheelhouse completely. Like, yeah, it's all just in my wheelhouse with all the metal references and horror references and just dumb shit.
It's good stuff. And what about you, Miss Mona? What you got going on for Thanksgiving?
Just being the boy, and I'm fine with that. And probably make him watch something horrible, like I did to my entire family on Easter. I made him watch Watership Down.
What?
Is that the?
I've never seen it.
I haven't seen it either. I have
not
seen it.
You should have made him watch The Passion of the Christ. That's a good Easter
Maybe
film.
we'll watch that on Thanksgiving.
Oh, that movie actually legitimately makes me sad. It really does.
Yeah,
it's
pretty sad. Makes me sad.
It's a very it's a rough
one. I saw it in
one.
the theater.
Did you? Yeah, so did I. Did you cry?
Yes, of course.
I will say that I did shed some tears as well.
Not because it was Jesus, but the mother watching her son go through that.
Yeah, that's
sad to me.
Yeah, that's like that. Yeah, he really pulled. But it's a horror movie too. Like I think The Passion of the Christ is a horror movie. People are like, what? And I'm like,
brutal, pretty gory.
It's got the devil. It's It's Christploitation. That's what
Christploitation. Yeah. Really surprised that genre never really took off.
Yeah, well, you know,
there's still time.
Well, you need to watch those PSAs that we watched. That's definitely some Christploitation stuff on Android Vision, Xander. Those are a lot of fun. So, yeah, I'm gonna be
watching Blood Rage.
Yeah. I got a million kids. So I am making, I think, 2 turkeys. I've already made my red chili and my green chili stew. Those are frozen. And then I'll be doing a big ass nice stuffing. And I cheaped out and I ordered this girl that I know that I used to work with a long time ago was a chef in the Navy, and we had a potluck at work one time, and she brought these things called pumpkin crisps. So basically, what she does is she makes these pumpkin pie, but the bottom what she does is she bakes this layer of crust infused with nuts and butter, and then on the top she puts whipped cream, and they're so fucking good.
That sound good.
So I cheaped out this year again, as I do every year, and I'm like, I ordered those from her, so she's making them for me. So
You didn't make your pumpkin pies?
no, the pumpkins went bad, so that's why we went shooting. That's why we went shooting the other day. We shot the pumpkins like if they were human heads and see how big a holes my gun put into them. like a good American. I'm just kidding. Like a good pilgrim. So,
like I'm thankful for this, God.
I'm thankful for these bullets and this pumpkin and blah 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 blah. All right, guys.
That's all that counts.
Yes. You know what? That's all that counts. As long as I'm thankful. I am thankful for you two. And I am thankful.
How sweet.
Yes,
he does have a heart.
I do. I'm a nice guy.
Spot of gray in his black heart for us.
Yes. I have a heart with the pinhole, the little beam of light coming out of it for you guys.
Well, appreciate it.
There you go. All right, guys. We will see you on.
You've been listening to the Cemetery Gates podcast, featuring Android Virus and Xander Kane. Follow us on Twitter @AndroidVirus, @Xander_Kane, and @CemeteryGates66.